segment number 5, module number 5 in our 9 modules is development of your social marketing, social network technology. We're going to quickly go over the small business keywords, make a comment about each, and then we will begin to do case studies. Oh, wait a second, I didn't know I had all these. Here's the list. I'll give you the list. Quick comment on each one of them. Quick comments. Google technology. Great technology. I use it. I continue to use it. I find more Google technology that I need to use. It is wonderful for my small business, both from just the aspects of running my business, running the business of the community, as well as the marketing that the community does. Google AdWords. Never invested in AdWords. I've studied them very closely. Up until now, I've attempted to do organically what Google AdWords, what you will actually commit to spend with Google AdWords. And now I'm at a point where I really want to understand, can you give me better search results than you are now giving me? For that information, just go to Google David's Barter, all one word, or Google Small Biz David in quotation marks, and you'll see our understanding of the Google AdWords concept. I suppose there are other words that I could be purchasing, but I don't know if it would improve traffic any. So I'm still up in the air about Google AdWords. Blogging is extremely important. We live in a content world. The more content you have, the better content you have, the more traffic you will have to a Stick-M show, to a YouTube broadcast, to your site. Ultimately, I suppose you want to get it to your site. We go beyond. We don't do a lot of written blogging, but the next thing, video blogging. Obviously, we do a tremendous amount of video blogging. I have over 1,000 hours, probably over 2,000 hours now. That was a year ago, 2 years ago, that I had 1,000 hours of Stickam.com video blogging. I have approaching 300 YouTubes of video blogging. Extremely important. It makes the marketing of your business very, very efficient and very simple. I don't want to oversimplify, but it makes it a more simple process. Video blogging. Videos ties into video blogging. YouTube, my contention is you can start a new business with a YouTube channel and a landing page in your own landing page inside of our community. They need to work together. We teach you how to work the two entities together. It works for us. There's no reason why it can't work for you. Branding, a very important concept. Our brand is Small Biz David. Our brand is David's Barter. Those are the things we market and promote. And if you go, once again, to Google those, you'll see the success that we've been able to realize with them. Budget, you have to have a budget, a monetary budget. And you have to stay within that budget. When you go outside of your budget, you potentially go get into some trouble if you don't have the cash flow, additional cash flow that will take into consideration, that will factor in a new budget. Resource of time. Oh my goodness. Guess what? The resource of time puts everybody on a level playing ground, because we all have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's how we use that resource of time that will determine our abilities to attain successful results to our goals and objectives. How we use that time. We all have the same amount. How are you going to use it? Social media, I mentioned social media earlier today. Social media is just part of the equation. Some people want to make it the whole equation. I make it just a part of the equation because not only is social media important to the community, but things such as direct mail is important to the community. I have always done direct mail. I am not doing as much today as I used to, although in the other room I am putting together a direct mail campaign. I am a staunch advocate of the power of mailing a postcard. It's a very powerful tool that is even being made more powerful with things such as a QR code. So you take a one-dimensional piece, that direct mail piece, postcard, you mail it, you put a QR code on it, people will scan that on their smartphones, and it takes them to your landing page, all with that code, done with that code on your card. Simple stuff, works well. I use it. Search engine, you hear me talk a lot about search engine. Matter of fact, I had two things I wanted to talk about today that we are not going to get to today. We'll try tomorrow. How to choose keywords for your websites. You pick the keywords for your website so that the search engines will find you. The other article was Google just announced, not just announced, but they announced that beginning October 1st, they're going to charge for something that they've been giving away. They're going to start charging for product listing ads. They are practically universally misunderstood, says David Yeager in SearchEngineWatch.com. We'll talk about that hopefully tomorrow. Search engine optimization. We are all about search engine optimization. We understand it. We share our knowledge with you so that you can start a business on a landing page the same way that we started a business on a landing page. And guess what? I have at least 12 landing pages that are generating cash flow in the community. The next small business keyword was optimized landing page. Those landing pages are optimized and very Googleized. We do it, just do what we do. Website, we are not about a website anymore. We are about landing pages. Each landing page has a URL. Our domain name is davidsbarter.com. So if we had a website, you would go to davidsbarter.com, which is just our registration landing page for the community. Then pages inside the community will be davidsbarter.com/your choice of your small business keywords. That's how things work in the community. Direct mail, I just mentioned direct mail. QR codes, I just mentioned QR codes. Very simple. You can go to Google or goo.gl, put in your domain name, and it generates for you your own QR code. I will quickly show you how I use one of the ways I use my QR codes. This is my business card that I don't pass out too much. Used to pass out thousands of business cards. I don't anymore. But here is Small Biz David. That's Small Biz David QR code. So if you scan that, it takes you right to my page. It's a great use of technology. Teleservices. For you, those of you who don't know what teleservices are, you probably have all been subject to teleservices at one time. I actually spent 9 years of my life very, very heavily involved in teleservices. That's use of the telephone. You know, regardless of all the other things that we do, search engine optimization, landing pages, direct mail, always. Well, I guess Skype. When you Skype with somebody, it starts to get close to teleservice. You're Skyping in, you're doing teleservices in cyberspace. That's all Skype is. Skype allows you to look at the expression on the other person's face based upon the conversation that you're having. Very, very important. I remember when video phones first came out years ago, and I guess they don't even exist anymore, but it's probably 20 years ago, a video phone where you would talk to somebody and their picture would actually come up on your phone and an attachment to your phone. Today we call that Skype. But teleservices were very, very important for me in the 90s as a means of communication, and they still can be important. Business cards, I just showed you my business card, brochures, newspaper advertising, Yellow Pages advertising. I just got a call yesterday from our local phone company. We have a local phone company in Cincinnati, and the woman asked me, "Did you get your copy of the Yellow Page directory?" And I said, "No." She said, "Oh, you still live at 922 Morris?" I said, "No." That's one reason why I didn't get my Yellow Page directory. But then I took the opportunity. I asked the woman, I can't even remember the last time that I used a Yellow Page directory. At one time, I used it a great deal. At one time, I recommended that people that I was talking to, other small business owners, use Yellow Page directory advertising. Now I can't make that recommendation anymore because it doesn't work. People don't have them. People don't use them. And I can actually find a phone number in 1/10 of the time online as I can in going through the old Yellow Page directory. Some of you are probably young enough to not even know what a Yellow Page directory is. At one time they were very effective. Their effectiveness now, I don't know. Don't use them. I actually only talked to one person that made the best use of Yellow Page advertising I've ever seen. He owned a auto repair shop, and he owned a junkyard of cars, and he owned a paint shop for cars. And Roger made the best use of Yellow Page advertising I've ever seen. Very smart, small business owner. A couple months ago, he did some work on my car, and I said, "Roger, how's your Yellow Page advertising program going?" And he said, I've cut it down tremendously. It's hadn't been working for me as well as the cost to use it have gone up, so I just eliminated most of it. There you go. That's a testimonial. That's a story in and of itself, because at one time, 15 years ago, his use of Yellow Page advertising was as good as I've ever seen. Email marketing. I'm actually going to be sending an email out. First time I've sent a mass email out in probably 3 or 4 years. I don't like email marketing, so I don't do it, but I'm going to take advantage of having some old email addresses and all these business cards where I am typing all of those email addresses. Those are cards I've been collecting for the last 10 years. I'm just going to send an email to those folks, tell them what Small Biz Dave is doing today, and invite them. And these are people, obviously, that know me because we've exchanged business cards in the last 10 years, and I'm going to ask them to become mentors of entrepreneurship. That will be the purpose of the email. I'll share with you the results. Content marketing, I mentioned it earlier today. We do it well. It's an extremely important part of a marketing program. Content. What content do you use? What information do you share? That's why people will come back and read your content and share your content. Sitemap. If you have a website, You absolutely need a site map. Many people don't spend enough good time, good use of resource on their site map. Your site map tells Google what you are all about. So you have to understand how to use it if you want Google to send traffic to your website. We'll talk more about that. Community marketing. We market in our community. That's what we're all about. We share with you what works in terms of marketing in our community. Big data. Big data is not as important to the person starting a business as it is to people already in the business. Big data really, it's an old concept with new words. You might read, if you read a lot of marketing things, you read big data. Big data is really only the analysis of what's happening, response to a mailing that you might do, what your customers are doing, how your customers are behaving. All of those things are big data. If you use that big data, you're going to do more effective marketing. But when you're starting a business, it's important to understand your customer, but the concept of big data is not all that important, but it is important to folks who are already in business. Pay-per-click. Pay-per-click was a way to buy your marketing advertising that you would pay every time somebody clicked on your link to get to your website. You would pay for that. That's a pay-per-click. Actually, we're going to play with that concept a little bit in our community. I'm developing a landing page which will be a pay-per-click page. I will go to people who know that the people who come into our community will be their small business folks and they have certain interests. Those are the kind of people that will invest in a pay-per-click. Performance results. I've always worked on performance results. You heard me talk about this yesterday. I don't have an hourly rate. I couldn't even imagine how big a number that would be. But I will put up my abilities to do whatever it is that we agreed to do in terms of the marketing strategy in return for sharing the fruits of our efforts. So if our marketing ideas generate $100,000 in new business, we will expect to get X percent of that. It might be as high as $25,000 to create $1,000 of business. Most people will go for that. The interesting thing is there aren't too many folks like myself who will work on performance. When you work on performance, you're saying, not only do I know what I'm doing, I'll show you that I know what I'm doing, and in return for that, you'll pay me for new business. You'll pay me a percentage of the new business that my ideas generate for you. That's performance results. Mobile marketing, the biggest thing that you must focus on right now is how do you communicate your message to the mobile marketplace. That marketplace is growing every day, geometrically growing every day. There were 2 million iPhone 5 sold in 24 hours. 2 million. Millions of people communicate on their phones. So if you're going to market to those folks, you're going to have to understand how to market to their phone. It's mobile marketing. Cross-marketing, being able to use all the various means of advertising and cross-market your ideas, cross-market your products. Return on resource investment, we mentioned that earlier. Okay, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for your time. If you want to watch us live tomorrow, we'll be back at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at stickham.com for all you non-Stickham folks. And we don't broadcast on Saturdays yet. We might, not this Saturday. But Sunday will be a big day for us. Sundays has always been a big day for us. Lots of folks come and visit with us on Sundays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Please register to become a member of our community and really give serious thought about starting a business today. We've done a lot of the difficult work for you in my 40 years of working as a small business owner. I know the challenges. I've lived the challenges. I've dealt with the challenges. Just share our experiences. That's the purpose of the community, to make it a more simple process, a more refined process, a more efficient process to start your business today. Thank you, and Small Biz David looks forward to sharing some time with you tomorrow.